Um, this part, I have plenty of things wrong with this movie, but this part is just a bit of a nitpick. But they did this to themselves. Basically, there's a scene where two of the main characters, if you can call them that, get in a little argument. He mentions how he doesn't even know her name. He's like, "Hey, can I at least know your name?" She doesn't tell him. The scene is over. Guess what? We see 5 minutes later in another scene. He calls her by saying, "Hey, Bridget." You know, her name. After not too long ago, we established that he doesn't know her name. Okay, that makes sense. We also don't see a werewolf, even though, this is a werewolf movie, until the last 15 minutes. And part of that 15 minutes is credits. So, yeah, not the most impressive. What else is there? The two main characters aren't the most likable. There's this one kind of throwaway scene that ends up killing one of the characters later in the movie. This one girl one of the main characters anyway, gets thrown into a dead dog carcass. She goes to the locker room to get cleaned up. And the janitor gives her something to clean her face with. And then the werewolf girl is just like, "He was looking under your shirt." No, I rewatched the scene. Didn't look like he was doing anything wrong. In most of the movie, he's literally just there helping her. Cause like that scene I just told you about, he gave her something to clean her face. There, you also later see him save her from Jason when Jason's threatening her and about to hurt her. He goes in there and asks her what's going on. But, he was in a big part of the movie. And then later he gets killed. And they're just like, "Oh, he likes little girls." Like, what? There wasn't like any hint at that. Besides the one main bitchy girl that hates everybody and treats everybody like crap. Besides her sister, and then ends up treating her sister like crap to prove it. The only thing I can give them props to is that they didn't kill a character that literally any other movie would. But that's, not really anything. They also, for some reason, the mom is willing to leave the dad behind and move on, burn the house down, and start a new life when she finds there's fingers left in the yard. Like, okay. Just, I don't know, bit weird to me. And then she kind of just disappears from the movie, even though she was supposed to be there for the main plot, because she came there to go, help. But she's just not there. She came there to go help, get the daughter to leave, burn the house down, just like, I just said. But, she just kind of disappears, and the movie ends with you supposedly supposed to care about these characters. Because the movie ends with, her killing her sister. So, I'm guessing that the movie was supposed to, end with us caring about the characters, but there really wasn't any reason to. Because most of the movie is just spent watching her kill people and not letting her sister help her. We're ignoring her sister and all that. There just really wasn't a reason to like her. There's plenty of other reasons, but just watching the movie can show you that. What else? Oh, they also try and have the one girl like turn super fast, and then they literally just stop out of nowhere. Like, she gets bitten and then she's immediately turning. Well, she doesn't get bitten. She decides to like stab herself and be like, oh, I'm gonna be a werewolf too now. But it's just to trick her sister so they can both get cured. And she knew that was the only reason that, the only reason that she would come with her is if she decided to be a werewolf too. But she immediately, I wouldn't have a problem if, they didn't really do anything with it. Wouldn't really have a problem with it if they had like established it already. But with how the other girl turns, it takes forever for her to officially turn. And it takes forever for her to turn anyway. She doesn't turn until the next day. Yet, this girl is immediately turning. It's slowing her down. She can barely move, apparently. That's what the main character says, anyway. So why is she turning so fast, but her sister does not? I don't know. Just weird. There's plenty wrong with this movie. The dialogue sucks. Absolutely sucks. And I mean it. If you didn't like Jennifer's body dialogue, you're gonna hate this dialogue. They literally have a scene where to describe how she feels about being a werewolf, right? To describe how she feels about being a werewolf and how good it feels. She says it's just like masturbating. And then she goes on deep in detail about how she feels when she masturbates. And then describes and compares the two. Because I totally needed to hear that. Coming from someone that's 16 in the movie. Speaking of which, we never do get Sam's age. Though there's a scene during the movie where she calls him a pedophile because she loves calling everybody pedophile for no reason, apparently. Anyway, later, she literally tries to rape him and he apologizes. He tells her stop multiple times. He eventually pushes her off, right? And he's like, what? I told you to stop. And randomly he just apologizes to her and tries to help her up, and then she breaks his arm. And then nothing really happens with that. His arm's fine after that. For the rest of the movie. For the rest of him being alive anyway, because they later just kill him off. And in the weirdest way, too. Actually, though, the way he would have been killed off, I would have been fine with. Probably would have been the only thing I liked in the movie. It's so sudden. They try and leave the closet that they were hiding in. And, he just immediately gets attacked as soon as he tries to get out of the closet. And there's blood everywhere. And then they seriously made it look like he died, but he didn't. Because he later survives and then gets killed seconds later. Well, the next time we see him anyway, but basically seconds later. I don't know, this movie was just awful, and there's 2 more of them. And the next 2 were released in the same year. This movie was 2000. And the next 2 were both released in 2004. They just suck.